All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Mess, our new podcast that we're going to be talking about just kind of my daily mess from yours truly. That's literally all it's going to be. We're going to include some other things as well. Like, we're going to get into some other topics, of course, but for the most part, this is just going to be about my daily mess. So, my daily mess usually includes like things that happen in my life or just like yesterday I posted about how um it's been difficult for me to find a job. Well, now today's Friday, so yippee, thank goodness it is Friday because I'm ready just for the weekend, you know. But I will say that so this morning I woke up and my girl calls me and she's like, "Hey, just want to let you know that the power's out." I was like, "What? What? No way!" And I'm looking around, and some of my things aren't turned on. Like, I have a I have a stand for my MetaQuest, and it's got RGB lights on it, and that's usually my tell if the lights are on or if the power's on. Well, it wasn't on, so she was absolutely correct. I'm like, "Wait, so what happened? Why is the power She goes, I don't know. I just get a notification from ComEd, which is our energy provider, and they're like, "Yeah, just letting you know that there was a power outage in your area. Um, like it was like over 500 people were affected in our area. They were doing some work. I think we've had some really rough weather the past week. Um, let's just go right in and say that we had so last Friday, a week ago today, we had tornado warnings and we had bad storms. I mean, it was really bad. And then after the storms were done, it turned into a winter storm and we got like several inches of snow. And we woke up that last Saturday morning to a bunch of snow on the ground. And it's like, God dang it. Okay, whatever. Well, fast forward a handful of days, and a couple of days ago, we had the same thing happen where we had thunderstorms all day long. And then fast forward to the night, the night after, and we got several inches of snow after. And, we woke up and there's a bunch of snow on the ground. I'm like, why? Back to back days where this has happened, or back to back, like within less than a week period, it happened. It's like, ah, you know? And I think that's probably a big part of it. I think we had some issues with our power lines, and yeah, they cut power. It was at like 7 o'clock this morning that they cut it, and they said that power wouldn't be back until like 9:15 estimated time. And I'm like, well, that's problematic because I have an exam to study for today. Well, turns out the power obviously got turned back on like I don't know, like 45 minutes ago, or it's been almost an hour since the power turned back on. Um, I'm like, I'm like, great, great. This is what we get to deal with on a Friday. Well, once the power turns on, I'm like, wonderful. I can make my coffee, which is what I need, because coffee is essential in the morning. Oh. And and she calls me. We talk on the phone for like 10, 15, like 15, 20 minutes. And she's just like telling me all about what happened. And I'm like, I'm still waking up. I'm like, uh, wait, what? What's going on? And yeah, so that kind of happened. And I started getting a little stressed out because I have to study for an exam that I have to do this afternoon. My calculus exam, which as anyone can understand, calculus is not easy to do, and I have to make sure I study for it. Plus, I have other homework I have to do. I have I have psychology homework that I have to do that's due tomorrow morning. Um, it's not like I've been putting it off intentionally. It's like I've been just so scatterbrained all week. So, but that's that's a daily mess of mine. That's a struggle right there. And if anybody else has ever had to go through that, which I'm sure they have, explain to me how you go through it. Like, how do you, like, um if something doesn't work out for you, like if something doesn't happen right, how do you go through it? Like, how do you, does it automatically, like, does it what do you call that? Your schedule, right? Your daily schedule. When something happens, does it automatically just throw your entire day off kilter? I guess that's what I've been just trying to say. Like, does it automatically just throw your entire day into a frenzy? And sometimes it will do that for me. Like, you know, like let's say this morning, right? We're talking about things that kind of just throw your day off. The power being out. I mean, it didn't affect me like completely because once I was able to get up, once I saw the lights in my bedroom turn on, and I heard the furnace running, and I'm like, okay, so the power is on now. But could you imagine if the power didn't turn on for quite a while? I wouldn't be able to make my coffee, which would then make me feel very agitated because coffee is kind of what I live off of. Well, to help wake up. Um, they say you shouldn't ever open up your fridge during a power outage because um, once you start opening up your fridge, all the cool air will then go out and some stuff in your fridge could definitely go bad. They always say keep your fridge closed, keep your freezer closed, because even though the power's out, it still retains some of like the cold like the cold air. So you just don't want to open it up during. And then not to mention this whole thing, like, wanting to start the podcast, doing it every morning, I wouldn't be able to do it until whenever the power turns back on. And then I wouldn't be able to study for my exam, which technically I could, I mean I could, but at the same time I'm like, no, my textbook is online, my homework's online. I wouldn't be able to study. So it's like, okay, so one thing could definitely turn into a multitude of other things that you wouldn't be able to do during your day, and or like you wouldn't be able to do right away, and it kind of throws your whole day off kilter. And that's kind of been like a daily struggle. Like for me, I need to learn how to better prepare myself for something to happen so that it doesn't throw my entire day off. It sounds crazy, but it can work. If you're like me and like a lot of people, and we kind of struggle to keep a good daily schedule. Like my daily schedule, I wake up, I have coffee, I have breakfast, I assess the chore situation of the day, I see what needs to be done. Like today, laundry's got to get done at some point, or clothes got to get put away at some point. Dishes need to be washed, garbage needs to be taken out, um, and quite possibly the floors need to get swept and mopped and vacuumed and whatever. That's part of like what I do. Like I assess the situation. Um, once I have my coffee, my breakfast, a cigarette, and yes, you know, your daily bathroom movements can also be part of that too. So if if you can't use the bathroom, then you're like, oh gosh, now my stomach hurts. Now I'm in a boatload of pain, and now I can't do what I need to do. I mean, obviously, with the power being out, I could use the bathroom because the bathroom, like our water systems, or like our sink system, isn't, with the electric company, it's with the gas company. So, like hot water, I could still take a shower because of the fact that it runs off of gas. Anyway, So that's kind of like part of like today's daily mess. Today's daily mess is more so like one thing that doesn't go right can also make your entire um, routine just go off kilter, and it can actually affect your day. And I know it seems small and it seems little, but it does make a big difference because your daily life and your daily schedule, I mean, it's something you look forward to doing every day or something you're used to doing every day. And it could create a snowball effect where it's like one thing after the other. Like imagine I couldn't make coffee, I'd have to go walk to the Dunkin', which first world problem. Yes, I understand, but getting up, putting on some clothes, walking down like a mile and a quarter to go to the Dunkin'. Okay, that's great. I get my exercise. That's another thing that's a positive. Um, and so that wouldn't be too bad. But then, I wouldn't be able to study, like I said, study for my exam, which is something I need to be doing. Getting some other homework done. There is an assignment that I do need to actually get done after I'm done recording this because it is important. Because it is due tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. And if I don't do it at least within the day before, I'm not getting up before 8 o'clock to tell my body that. Um, so that's definitely part of like the daily mess. And that's why we call this podcast the Daily Mess, because it is supposed to help kind of get some more insight and also be a little bit more relatable because a lot of people deal with the same struggles, you know? And so I just wanted to kind of talk about that and kind of help people understand that they're not alone, you know? So, but it doesn't always have to be about daily struggles. It can also be about daily positives. So, like last night, um, me and her, we go out to dinner. We have a nice, good dinner together, and we come home and we get to watch an episode of our favorite show, and we get to relax and just have a good, just be together. We both fell asleep early. I mean, this is how you know that we're getting a little bit older. Um, we both fell asleep really early, like around like maybe like 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11 maybe. I mean, it was early comparable to us and well, comparable to me. This is how bad it was. I left my watch on to charge and I left my phone on to charge. I usually before I go to bed, I take them off, both of them off the charger, and I wear my watch while I'm sleeping so I can track my sleep. And I normally have my phone next to me so that, when my alarm goes off, I can hear my alarm go off. I didn't have to worry about that because I fell asleep with all my clothes on, which I never do. I even fell asleep with socks on. That's how you know it was bad. I woke up around 2 o'clock. I had to use the bathroom. And I'm like, let me grab my phone and let me grab my watch. And so I did that. I did forget a light on last night. I forgot to turn off a light in the kitchen. And that I never do because I usually go downstairs. I usually lock up. I turn off all the lights, make sure everything's put away. Our leftovers were still sitting out. And I'm like, oh. And I mean, they don't need to be in the fridge, but I usually keep leftovers in the fridge just because I don't know. That way it's at least concealed somewhere other than being out. So that's that was I mean it's bonkers, and just one little thing in my sleep schedule or, how I fell asleep early could like make me go completely nuts because then everything kind of trickled down. Everything I normally do, I didn't do. But that's okay. I digress. I walk away. I wake up and I dream of a good start to your day, and then hearing that the power's out, I'm like, uh-oh, this is not gonna be a good day. But it's actually turning out to be not that half bad of a day. Um, as I said, the power turned back on. I was able to make my coffee, and just like anybody, how many of you drink coffee in the morning, or do you drink? energy drinks? Do you drink tea? Do you just drink water? Um, what is your drink of choice to wake up to? Mine is always coffee, and then I switch straight to water. Um, I don't drink sodas hardly anymore, and I don't drink like juices. I do love orange juice. Um, and I actually that was my drink of choice to wake up to versus coffee. Well, before I got addicted to coffee. But getting together with someone who was a college student at the time and having a mother who drank a pot of coffee every morning, it was inevitable I was going to end up drinking coffee in my life. And I was going to grow up drinking coffee. Um, but yeah, so that's kind of like the start to like my day and my daily struggle, um, and a little bit of a daily mess. So anytime we have a daily mess, we'll talk about it. Anytime I have a daily positive, we'll talk about it. Like, okay, here's a daily positive. Um, I mean, I woke up breathing. You know, I woke up. That's a positive. It's always a positive thing to be able to wake up. Um, what else? I got a chance to hear my girl's voice, and we got a chance to stay on the phone for a little bit before she had to go to work. That's a positive. Um, yeah, I mean, there's got to be other positives out there. I just can't really think of them just because it's kind of like that weird time frame where it's like it's a Friday morning, so not a lot of things are happening in my life yet. I'll definitely let you guys know how well I do on the exam, and it'll either be categorized as a daily struggle, as like a mess, or it'll be a positive thing depending on the grade. um, but yeah, no, I did have an idea for a topic today. I was gonna actually talk about something completely different, but I think I just wanted to talk about um, schedules, and when one thing goes off and one thing goes wrong, it can actually completely change the trajectory of your day. So like okay, could you imagine if you ran out of toothpaste and you couldn't brush your teeth in the morning because you ran out of toothpaste? I mean, that could kind of set everything off for the day because you don't brush your teeth, now your breath stinks. And now your teeth could be unhealthy. And you're like, ooh, whoops. And now you're afraid, like you're self-conscious about how like your breath smells and if people are going to be offended by it. Um, or if you ran out of deodorant or you didn't have any hot water and you couldn't take a shower. Now, I don't know. I'm a person who loves to take hot showers. I could never take a cold shower. I mean, honestly, if it ever came down to it and our water heater went out or if our like if if our gas was all of a sudden shut off, which it would never would because we pay our bill every month, but like imagine if it did. I mean, I feel as if that I would probably conform to the idea of taking a cold shower because you do need to get washed. But what are you talking like hot water showers are like where it's at. It makes you feel comfortable. It relaxes your muscles and it gets you awake for the day. But cold showers just gives you a complete shock. But actually, hot and cold showers, so like there's benefits to both. So if you take cold showers, there's actually really good benefits to it. If you take hot showers, there's a lot of benefits to it. So no matter what you choose and no matter what you do, there's actually a lot of benefits to both. So kudos to you if you take a hot shower. More power to you if you take a cold shower because I couldn't imagine. Um, also, like okay, imagine if imagine if you wake up late for class or you wake up late for work. That sets your entire day skyrocketing off. I mean, it's those pains. I've been there before. Late for class, not really, but late for work. I've had plenty of experiences of that in my youth, where I was accidentally late for work because I woke up late. Now, I'm not a morning shifter. I don't really like doing morning shift jobs. I usually like a good second or third shift just because it's easier for me to get up and get ready and get going for the day and then much later go on to work. Work the night, work the afternoon or the night, come home, have a little bite to eat, relax, and then go to bed. It's much easier. Now, obviously, night shifts comes with a whole different territory of you got to keep yourself awake. There were times where it was so boring at some of the like I had a boring night and I had to keep myself awake. Well, that's where all the coffee comes in. That's where a lot of like energy drinks come in, and that's where a lot of like watching. I remember I used to watch movies and TV shows while I was working at one of my other jobs, only because it was like an unwritten rule to where you couldn't get in trouble for doing it. It wasn't them saying, "Oh yeah, you can do it." No, it was usually them saying, "Just don't get caught by the higher up bosses. You'll be fine." Supervisors don't care, team leaders don't care. Everybody does it. But if you're a morning shifter and let's say you start your day, let's say you start your shift at 8 o'clock in the morning and you're working like 8 to 4:30. That's a that's a pretty good day. That's 8 hours. And by the time you get off work, it's 4:30 in the afternoon. You can still enjoy your the rest of your day. You can have dinner. You can spend time with your kids and your friends, your significant other. You can relax. You can lay down and go to bed. That type of thing. You wake up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, get yourself prepared, and then you go on to work. Depending on how far away you live from your job, if you're lucky and you live like down the road from your job, that's awesome. That way, you really should never be late because you could leave, 10 minutes before your shift starts and still get there. Anyway, um, if you wake up late for work and you're like all in a tuzzy now you don't have enough time to take a shower, you don't have enough time to brush your teeth, you don't have enough time to find yourself some good clean clothes, eating something for breakfast, having your morning coffee. Um, if you're a smoker like me, having a smoke is like imperable on your day. Like you need to have it to start your day. Otherwise, you're very tense. Um, I've been late for work like that before, and it sets your entire day just it just tumbles. Because now you're mad at yourself, but now you fear that your bosses are not going to be mad at you, your team, your whoever you work with, your coworkers are like going to be like, "Come on, get to work. Get to work on time. We need you." And now you feel like you're letting everybody else down and it's like I get it. Like that is probably the worst thing, especially if it's like a Monday. Then you have to work the rest of the week by that. And that's your standard is making sure you're better than that every day. And that's like I said, that's easier said than done. It's it's not easy. So just always have like a just in case kind of situation where if your day isn't started out how you expect it, to retool your mind to being like, okay, everything's gonna be okay. I've got 30 minutes until I have to be at work. I'm not gonna be terribly late. I may be a little late, but at least I can get like breakfast. I can at least sacrifice one thing for the other. Like if you're not as hungry, or if you're like hungry but you need caffeine more, make yourself a cup of coffee. Don't worry about eating yet. You can eat at lunch. You just kind of like make balances with things so that your day isn't too far off from where it's supposed to be. So the moral of this is even if your day starts off a little funky or a little off, don't let it control you. Don't let it control your day. Because whether it's a Monday or a Friday, act as if it's going to be a great day. Because if you set your mind to be a little bit more positive, you'll be able to use that as like fuel for the rest of your day to be a little bit more positive. Now I understand if if there are things that just completely throw you off, that like I said, waking up and the power's out, that's going to throw you off completely because a lot of the things that you need to start your day require power. First world problem, I understand. It's not that big of a deal. You can always, do something else. There's always a plan B, and make sure to have your plan Bs set up, and don't let these little minor inconveniences like control your day and control your life. Embrace them. Learn how to manage, with or without. And I think that's kind of where we've gone far off because people today, there's some people that don't know how to manage when even when the slightest minor inconvenience happens. Some people don't know how to manage that, and then guess what happens? They completely just they have a really really rough time. And you want to save your hair, and you want to see, because you don't want to rip your hair out or grow gray hair early on in life. So the moral of the story is, always remember that life could be a lot worse, and that whatever you're dealing with, yes, whether it's big or small, you get through it. You care about it, but you know that you can get through it. And if people around you are making it difficult, block out all that noise. Honestly, it's extra noise that you don't even need. So just block out all the negativity. You want to be able to have a good day, and you want to be able to, because it matters. Some people say it's the little these little things don't matter. Of course they do, because in the long run, it can make big impact in the long run. So today, it's Friday. It's going to be a lovely day. It's going to be great. Yeah, it's going to be a little cold outside, but remember, it's spring. Spring weather will be here. Also, the weekend. Enjoy it. Just get through your day, power through, whether you're having a normal day or whether you have a chaotic day. Just know you're going to get through it, power through, and just enjoy yourself, because you know that the light at the end of the tunnel will always be there. Just always remember that. So I'm just grateful that the power turned on at 7:55, and I'm thankful that the power turned on and I was able to do what I needed to do. But that, like I said, that's such a little tiny minor inconvenience. I shouldn't even have to worry about it. But unfortunately, like I said, if I wasn't able to have my coffee yet, I'd go I'd go completely insane. That's just showing that coffee is much needed in my life. But anyway, that is going to be it today for the Daily Mess. The message today is, no matter the minor inconvenience that starts your day, always have it in your mind. Put it on the forefront of your thought that you're going to have a great day, and then you'll have a great day. You can work around the minor inconveniences, and you can kind of just pull them out and be like, you know what? I'll I will sacrifice having my morning coffee by just getting to work on time, to make sure I don't get yelled at by my boss, and to make sure I don't get in trouble. And then I could always, if there's coffee there, make a cup of coffee over at your job. I mean, it's not going to hurt. Or if they have food there, go have a little bite to eat, have a snack. Whatever your job is, take care of it. But have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for tuning into the Daily Mess. I am the Daily Mess himself, because my life is a daily mess. But I love y'all. I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day, and happy Friday. Bye.